Trey, why is it, in your opinion, I know you like Lendl, I know you admire McEnroe's talent very much too, why is it that Lendl has had so much success against McEnroe?
Well, Pat, I think, as Nuke said, he returns McEnroe's serve very well. And from that point on, Ivan Lendl's ground strokes are more penetrating. There's more pace on them than McEnroe's. John McEnroe floats the ball a lot when he comes to the net, and Lendl can pound those topspin passing shots at him. So I think the fact that Lendl returns his serve so well would be the key.
Who is superior, in your opinion, as far as court coverage is concerned?
Oh, McEnroe covers court much better. Lendl is big. He's tall, long legs, but he's not nearly as quick as McEnroe.
I've heard both you and John say that as you look back in the history of tennis and the players that you've seen, that perhaps Lendl has the hardest forehand that you've ever seen.
And also one of the best. It's not only hard, but it works. He gets it in. His favorite shot on the forehand side, in my opinion, is when he gets the ball in the middle of the court and he'll drive it into what will now be McEnroe's forehand, a left-hander, normally righty's backhand side, sort of an inside-out shot, and he drives that with tremendous pace.
Of course, you and Nuke have both won this tournament twice, as well as many, many others around the world. A tournament of this magnitude, Wimbledon, the French Open, any of the Grand Slam events, what is the toughest thing, other than the actual performing on the court, about waiting this long to play and getting this far?
Well, I think it's the overall pressure. You want it so badly. When you talk to the players, they always talk about the Grand Slam events and Davis Cup. Those are their major events. So it is much more important for them to win a major event.
All right, coming up next, the final, the semifinal, I beg your pardon, between Ivan Lendl and John McEnroe. Right now, let's take you in depth a little bit for a Kim profile of both players.
This U.S. Open feature is sponsored by Kim, on the court and off the court fashions for men and women.
John McEnroe is a serve and volley specialist who is constantly attacking. The key to his game today will be his first service. Ivan Lendl is a fierce competitor from Czechoslovakia who believes that he has McEnroe's number. The key to his game, an awesome forehand.
Pat Summerall with John Newcomb and Tony Trabert. And word just has come to us as McEnroe's introduced. If that's any indication, he certainly got some of the crowd on his side at least. Jimmy Connors has some cramps in his back. That is why he hasn't joined us for some guest commentary on this match between Lendl and McEnroe. Certainly hope it's not anything that might inhibit or hurt his performance tomorrow. Ivan Lendl's track record, that's how he got here. Krishnan, Tim Mayotte, he had a tough time with Mayotte. Harold Solomon, Mats Wilander, he annihilated, and Kim Warwick. Ivan Lendl plays tennis right-handed, plays golf left-handed. Plays tennis a lot better. John McEnroe defeated Tim Gullickson, Marty Davis, Vince Van Patten, Matt Doyle, and Gene Mayer. And he has seemed, I think it's certainly safe to say, as the tournament has passed by and he has progressed, his level of play has picked up considerably. Has that been your impression, Tony?
Very much so, Pat. Early in the tournament, McEnroe seemed very edgy. He seemed like he hated the world. He was not hitting the ball cleanly, not playing with a lot of zest, and but he still was winning fairly handily. And as each match has gone by, he seemed to hit the ball with more confidence, more solidly. And I would guess that he's pretty much where he would like to be at this point from a form standpoint.
There is Gene Jankowski, president of the CBS broadcast group, enjoying today's tennis along with the rest of the members of his family. His wife Sally along. Gene also enjoys this game of tennis very much.
2 minutes, gentlemen.
He'll come at you. Althea Gibson in the back and Don Budge looking like Frank Buck down front with the pith helmet on.
Dr. Livingston.
Bring him back alive. He brought a few back alive, didn't he? 2 trophies from tournaments.
Well, he brought this one back in 1937 and 38. Defeated Gottfried von Cram and also defeated Gene Mako in 1938.
Wasn't Mako his doubles partner at one time?
You bet. And there are many, many people that feel that perhaps J. Donald Budge was the greatest player of all time. And speaking of all-time greats, we understand that our pal Jack Kramer is going to have a plastic hip operation next Wednesday out in Los Angeles. And if Big Jake is listening, we want to all wish you the very best in an operation. We're sure it'll be successful, and we'll be looking forward to little doubles over at Omar's when you get well again.
I know that a lot of people for a long time have been encouraging Jack Kramer to have that operation, and he had gotten so that he could hardly play golf either. Arthur Ashe, our Davis Cup captain, who replaced Tony Trabert.
I was with Arthur this morning and wished him well. They're going down to Australia, to Perth in Western Australia, to play. Nuke, I understand they've got a sort of a slow type tennis court that they're going to go up against the Yanks on.
Yes, they'd rather have the slow court. Peter McNamara, who's our #1 player down there now, he told our captain, Neil Fraser, that he didn't want to play the match on grass, and he would rather play it indoors on a slower surface.
I see that Arthur has picked who?
Gene Mayer.
The Mayer brothers.
Right. Sandy Mayer and Peter Fleming will be the doubles partner of John McEnroe. Nuke, I want to ask you something. That's not very sporting of you, is it, to make a sort of a special surface when the Yanks come all the way down there?
No, I think it's very unfair. Very just.
You recommended it, though.
Very just and very unfair.
Full house, of course. Nuke, who is on the Australian Davis Cup team, you know?
Peter McNamara and Paul McNamee and Mark Edmondson, and I don't know who the fourth player is, but after this, John Alexander, right. So I'm wondering if Captain Neil Fraser was wondering whether he should have put in Kim Warwick after Kim's performances in this tournament, where he got through to the quarterfinal and lost pretty easily to Ivan Lendl in that quarterfinal, but he played some great matches coming through.
He did, and he could be on the 6-man squad, and then he could be named 10 days prior to the event if he wanted to. They could make a switch.
Well, there's a real atmosphere out here, Pat, at the stadium. You can almost sense the electricity coming down into the stadium, and it's going to be very interesting to watch McEnroe during this match. His attitude, because I know he's going to be really pumped up.
The game is about to be on.
You know, you watch McEnroe play a lot, and it's interesting to me. We'll see if he does it. Normally, the first ball he serves will be out into the forehand side.
Ready?
Going for that corner wide instead of breaking up the middle.
Please.
So let's see what he does.
Play.
I know, Tony, that you feel as the match progresses, he should serve perhaps more right at Lendl.
I do think he should serve at Lendl a high percentage of the time, because Lendl likes to take a swing at it. And when he takes a full swing at it, he's better than when he has to block the ball when it's in tight.
Please take your seats, ladies and gentlemen.
McEnroe waiting already for someone in the stands to sit down. Three consecutive times he has won this championship. Right at him.
15 up.
There goes that theory, Tony.
15
serving wide to the forehand.
Lendl's won 11 in the last 18 tournaments he's been in. He's really had a couple of terrific years.
Won well over $1 million this year. Fantastic year.
1,238,000. It's a record.
I talked to Lendl in Cincinnati and asked him how come he returns McEnroe's serve so well. And he said, well, I didn't about 18 months ago. I was having a lot of trouble, and then I started studying all these tapes of McEnroe's serve. And I realized that he turns his back to you almost when he's serving, and the tendency is not to watch the ball, but to watch his back.
Another thing that I would like to point out now, 15, and I think as a scouting report, Ivan Lendl hits the high percentage of his backhand passing shots down the line. And if McEnroe is going to do well here, he's going to have to cover the down the line shot and force Lendl to go cross court. It's not that he can't hit it cross court, but he prefers by far to go down the line with it.
That's off the backhand side.
Right. And really the forehand he hits down the line more than cross court too.
Good eye.
40-15.
to McEnroe. A lot of tennis still to McEnroe.